As we learn that perception is not reality, it makes us just kind of ask some deeper questions of ourselves. Am I seeing this correctly? Have I checked out what I heard? Is that what I thought it was? It causes us to really just be a little more thorough, to be a little more patient, to not jump to conclusions, to not jump to judgment. In our conversation at church this week and all week long in the devotions, we're going to be increasing our ability to trace our path to action, to follow how we got there. How did I get there? So we've been looking at what's called a 4-box model. The book talks about this. There's box 1, box 2, box 3, and box 4. And as we look at this, I wanted to start with box 4. Box 4 is we act. We act in a certain way, and sometimes it's not bad. It's we behaved well. We behaved well. Other times we behave poorly. And we're asking ourselves, why did I act that way? Galatians 6:4 says, each one should test his own actions, which we should. Whenever we behave poorly, we should test our own actions. We should say, what was I thinking? What brought me to behave so poorly? Whenever fight or flight happens, that's what's taking place, right? We've been triggered by something because we didn't feel safe, we felt threatened, we felt in danger, and so our amygdala, which is the part of your brain, lower brainstem part down here, holds the feelings of anxiety and fear. It gets triggered by something, an event, and it may tap into memories of past hurt and pain, and boom, it tells our hypothalamus, which speaks to our sympathetic nervous system, and all of a sudden cortisol and epinephrine are kicked into the bloodstream, and there we go, we're off to the races. I call this the danger zone. Fly into the danger zone, danger zone. It's like Top Gun. Here we go. And when we do that, we oftentimes act poorly. We behave in a way that makes us embarrassed, that we wish we could just take back those words we said, not have to go back and apologize for what we've done, our path to action. So we act sometimes not so well. In order to arrest such behavior, poor behavior, we have to understand, how did we get there? How did we get to act in such a way? So that's box number 4. So let's go back and let's maybe take a look at box number 3, because it can give us insight. We act because we feel. Box 3. That makes sense. We act because we feel. In fact, James chapter 4, James in the Bible, the half-brother of Jesus, James chapter 4 says, what causes fights and quarrels? He's almost like saying, what causes for fight and fires? What causes fights and quarrels among you? Don't they come from your desires that battle within you? We've got desires or feelings that battle within us. And most of us, I think, would probably agree that we often act poorly because we felt something significant. We felt threatened. We felt embarrassed. We felt attacked. We felt inadequate. We felt insecure, and therefore we act a certain way. So as we're retracing our path to action, it's important to recognize that feelings oftentimes generate bad behavior. Fair enough? In fact, most of us have even in our quick judgment said, you make me feel, if you didn't make me feel that way, I wouldn't have behaved so poorly. A great way to shrug off responsibility, right? So in our journey, we have to recognize that maybe they didn't make me feel. Possibly my feelings are my own responsibility. But where do they come from? Well, I want us to first look at where we think they come from. If we're looking at our 4-box model and we've filled in that we act because we feel, I want us to skip over box number 2 and go to box number 1 because we see and hear. We see and hear things and they make us feel a certain way, which then make us act a certain way because we see and hear and see. I heard you say that I saw what you did. I saw the way you looked at me, and we feel something based on what we hear and see. Makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah, makes a lot of sense that we see something, we hear something, makes us feel something, then we act poorly. Our path to action. Here's the problem. We've not put anything in box 2. We hear, we see, we feel, we act, but there's a missing box. There's a missing box. What's in box number 2 is the key to understanding our path to action. What is it? What's it? We tell a story. That's box number 2. When we understand that the story we tell creates the emotions we feel, and that generates how we act, we find our path to action. All week long, we're going to be looking more closely, building a new skill and a new paradigm to act differently, to behave well instead of poorly, to behave with patience instead of impatience, to behave with respect instead of disrespect. Because when I recognize that everything I feel came out of the story I tell, now I have a key to change how I behave, because it will change how I feel when I learn how to change the story I tell. Please join me tomorrow as we continue.